Israel intensifies its operation in Gaza, targeting Hamas terror infrastructure. Reports have emerged of explosions near several hospitals in Gaza City. Strikes have also been reported at a yard at Gaza's largest hospital, the Al-Shifa complex. Gaza Health Ministry officials claim that the strikes have been carried out by the Israeli Defense Forces, but the IDF has refuted this claim. The IDF has released image of the trajectory, as you can see in these pictures, detected by its radar system, and claims that it was misfired projectile launched by Hamas that was actually aimed at IDF installations but hit the hospital. Israel has time and again claimed that Hamas is using hospitals as its terror bases. On October 27th, you would remember, IDF had released pictures of the Al-Shifa complex claiming that the structure houses underground Hamas command and control center. It had also released a 3D animation video showing a network of Hamas infrastructure located inside the hospital and underground as well. Let's first listen into what the IDF spokesperson had said then about the Al-Shifa being the operational base of Hamas.
Hamas terrorists operate inside and under Shifa Hospital and other hospitals in Gaza with network of terror tunnels. We have concrete evidence that hundreds of terrorists flooded into the hospital to hide there after the massacre of October 7th. Shifa is not the only hospital, it is one of many. Hamas' use of hospitals is a systematic.
This is what the IDF had said then. To prove its point, Israel continues to furnish more evidence of how Hamas is using hospitals and even school buildings, viewers, as terror dens and using them to store arms and ammunitions. Sample this video, which Israel claims is from inside the Indonesian hospital and shows Hamas terrorists brandishing guns. In another video that has been widely shared online, an Israeli soldier is seen walking through a school in Gaza and encounters an ammunition depot close to classrooms.
אנחנו בבית ספר, כיתת לימוד, לא יודע, פוסטרים על גוף האדם, מעבדות, לוח, מיקרוסקופ שם, ולא צריך לעשות הרבה, כל מה שצריך לעשות זה לצאת מהכיתה, לצעוד מטר אחד, ובחדר הסמוך, מחסן תחמושת עם פצמ"רים שם. בחדר ליד יש מחרטה לייצור רקטות, ותמיד אפשר בשיעור החופשי להתאמן עם איזה קלאץ' מפלסטיק. זה חומר לימודי.
Let's open this up. Brigadier Amir Avivi, chairperson of the IDSF, Israel's Defense and Security Forum, also former deputy division commander of the Gaza Strip, is live with us. And we also have with us Mohammad Najib, Palestinian journalist, joining us. Now, gentlemen, good evening. Mr. Najib, to you first. Palestine is claiming, and the health ministry there is saying that, look, another hospital has been attacked and bombed by IDF, a claim that the IDF has denied.
Actually, the IDF surrounded and targeted several Palestinian hospitals during the past few days and during the past 2 days. So they declared that they are targeting the hospitals and also disconnecting the electricity, bombing the 50th floor, according to the director of Shifa Hospital, and preventing any kind of movement around or providing fuel to the hospital. So it's going about to stop providing services to the ICU in the hospital for 60 Palestinian patients. So the situation are terrible in the hospitals. And according to the war laws and humanitarian laws, hospitals should be excluded by a state when there is a war. So what the Palestinians expect that Israel respect the war law and the international law, the humanitarian laws, and avoid and exclude the hospitals from preventing electricity, medical supplies, fuel, and targeting ambulances or targeting the hospitals and the roads that lead to those hospitals. Whatever are the claims, because Israel is a state that signed the international agreement. We can't compare Israel to Hamas. Hamas is a non-state military group. Israel is a state recognized by the United Nations and signed agreement. So the behavior must apply with the international law, the war law. So that's what is the point of the Palestinians at this issue.
Now, Mr. Avivi, the IDF says that this is not the first instance of Hamas using ordinary Gazans as cannon fodder. It uses them as shield, and we have nothing to do with this strike. They say that this was another instance of a Hamas projectile gone wrong. It misfired and hit the complex.
Yes, we see it not for the first time that something like a quarter to a third of all the rockets Hamas and Palestinian Islamic shoot fall inside Gaza. In different places, we saw it also already once falling near a hospital. Hamas has taken his own society hostages. When the society is told to go south to be safe, Hamas shoots them. Hamas holds them as hostages. Hamas doesn't care about the citizens. Every single place we found Hamas, we found them in kindergartens, in schools, in playgrounds, in UN sites, in UNRWA sites. This is how this vicious ISIS organization works. They use civilian infrastructure to build their bases. Now, Shifa Hospital, inside there is a whole headquarters, military headquarters with hundreds of Hamas terrorists, and the leaders are also in Shifa Hospital. According to international law, if a place becomes a military site, you can shoot it and you can conquer it. And this is, eventually we'll have to go in and find these terrorists and destroy these infrastructures. Of course, we are asking everybody to move out to safety zone. There is a hospital that was built in the south for the people to give them the chance to get the medical treatment. We are encouraging every day the people to go south. We have seen 100,000 Palestinians going through a humanitarian corridor that Israel prepared in the north and prevent from Hamas to stop them.
Right. Now, Mr. Avivi, as someone who served in the Gaza Strip, I have more specific questions for you, so our viewers understand the context that we are, talking about. But Mr. Najib, Mohammad Najib, I want to ask you a direct question. There's a video released by Israel, and this says that Hamas endangers the sick, it endangers the elderly, endangers children, endangers innocent civilians, and we'll pull up that video that I'm talking about on your screen. Now, in this, they say that this is the footage of Hamas terrorists inside the Indonesian hospital. Can you deny this, sir?
I am not a spokesperson of Hamas or the Palestinian Authority. I am a journalist and security analyst. I am saying that it's not a matter about what the IDF does against Hamas. We know what Hamas did against Israelis, and what IDF is fighting Hamas. But I am talking all about the civilians and to exclude the hospitals and the civilians. What I learned from sources in Gaza that hundreds of Palestinian civilians used as Shifa Hospital as shelter because they can't move to any other place. They don't find any other place. When I talk to the Palestinian journalists, I ask them why you are there. They are reporting the stories, but also they don't have electrical charger to charge their mobiles. So they go to the hospital to charge their mobiles. So we can't say that all the people inside Shifa, the patients and the innocent people, the civilian people, are Hamas fighters. And that doesn't justify, according to the international law, as far as I know, to endanger the life of all hundreds of Palestinians. But using the people as a human shield, because I saw yesterday and before yesterday, hundreds, thousands of Palestinians are walking for 7 kilometers from northern Gaza to southern Gaza. And nobody prevented them from moving there. The IDF watched that. Hamas didn't prevent them. So I'm not talking about the IDF and Hamas. That's another issue. I'm just talking about targeting civilians, Palestinian civilians, and hospitals is forbidden according to the international law. And the IDF, with its advanced technology, can avoid and can identify who's Hamas, who's fighter, who's carrying a rocket, and who is a civilian carrying his baby.
But Mohammad Najib,
so I'm sure they can.
No, Mohammad Najib, if the IDF claims, and I'll get Mr. Avivi on this, but you know, this is not very difficult to understand. The IDF claims that it had given enough time to the civilians there. It had opened the humanitarian corridor more than at least 4 times, appealed to them to move out. And if still the area is not clear, and if, like what the IDF claims, Hamas is using them as a shield, where are we headed?
I don't think that this is the case. That there are thousands of North Gaza, and they are 1 million point to 100,000 of Palestinians in North Gaza, but maybe 600,000 of them left to the south. I saw yesterday hundreds are heading toward Khan Yunis and Al Balah in the south, southern of Gaza Valley. I know that, but some decided that they can't move there. They can stay at their homes despite that threat. It's their own decision. I can't. But I talk about the hospitals that some civilians don't have any shelter, don't have any family, don't have any place to go for. They don't have money to hire a car or a donkey to drive to go for 7 kilometers. So they are sick. I saw some on the carriers, on the wheelchair.
Mr. Avivi, how would you respond to this?
Hospital. Well, you know, it's 2 weeks that we're asking the society to go south. I think that almost already now 900,000 actually went south. And they're continuing to move. But the problem is in places where Hamas is holding them hostages. This is where it's a problem. Today we targeted a terrorist that was holding 1,000 Palestinians hostages, threatening to kill them if they don't stay as human shields. This is how vicious and terrible Hamas is. And we have to really internationally fight this and enable the people to go south. Israel has no interest to hurt Palestinian citizens. We have an interest to destroy Hamas, and we are going to destroy Hamas completely. But we want the society to go out, go to the south, to the safety zone, which we allocated to them. In this safety zone, they are getting humanitarian aid. In this safety zone, the UAE is building an hospital. In this safety zone, you have food, medicine, water, and they need to go south. They can walk. It's not that far away.
No, but Mr. Avivi, let's for a moment come back to the original question about the face-off or the blame game on the origin of the strike. IDF says this is not their airstrike. They haven't bombed the hospital. In fact, some international experts have also opined that this looks like an underground ammunition store that exploded when a bomb most likely hit a tunnel shaft. Your assessment of it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we know for sure. We see it in our radars. We know exactly where this shooting came from, and this came from Hamas. Came from Hamas, and they shot their own hospital. This is the second time they shoot an hospital. And we have all the proofs for that. And it's no problem showing this because we see everything from the air and from UAV. You cannot hide it. And you cannot play around with it. Hamas is shooting its own hospitals.
Mohammad Najib, enough has been said and written about the civilians, but should Hamas not answer because it is using innocent Gazans as human shields, cannon fodder, call it what you want to, but this is absolutely deplorable.
Hamas, by what it did on 7 October, which is uncalculated adventure, is causing the destruction of Gaza. Everyone saw the footage of the
You're calling it, you know, I object to the choice of words, Mr. Najib. This was not uncalculated adventure. This was terror at its worst, massacring innocent people, not even sparing women and children. This was not adventure.
Yeah, because I mean to the Gaza people, you said they take them hostages. I said that for the Gaza people, what we see from far away from where I stay, I see footage of damage of the Gaza Strip. I see displacement of 1.1 million Palestinians from their homes to the south. I see that more than 11,000 killed, 20,000 injured. So it is. I think this is enough to say that the Hamas adventure made a catastrophic situation
now, on
for
this,
the Gaza people.
Mr. Najib, if you allow me, Jonathan Conricus, who is the spokesperson of the IDF, he's put out a tweet, and I'm just quoting him. He's put out a video, And we'll pull that video on our screen so that our viewers understand what I'm talking about. Now, in this video, he says, and I'm quoting, check out this Hamas footage. How many of the combatants are in uniform while fighting the IDF? None. When they'll meet their maker, how do you think the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry will describe them? You're right, civilians, another reason to question everything they say.
I know Jonathan. Jonathan is my good friend since a long time, but what I said that Hamas, the IDF knows where are Hamas fighters, who are Hamas fighters, they know how to fight each other. I don't care about Hamas fighters. I'm not defending them. I disagree with what they did. No one agree with what they did on 7 October against the Israelis. But I talk about Israel, the IDF with its advanced technology can locate Hamas fighters and identify them, fight them, kill them, arrest them, take them to the trial in Israel, whatever they want to do. I'm not defending that or talking about it. But I say that when you look for the image, as the Palestinians see the image of the Gaza, what's happening in Gaza is a huge destruction. It's a heavy price that's paid by the civilians, not by Hamas.
Claims and counters flying thick and fast. Civilians, unfortunately, are becoming a casualty. I thank both of you, Mohammad Najim and Amir Habibi, for joining us on Times Now. Thank you for watching.